And welcome everybody. The Amud is today Daf Yud Aleph Amud base, and we're 3 lines from the bottom on Yud Aleph Amud Aleph. So the gemorah says Amar of Avo in the middle of the line. Amar of Avo. Rav Avo said, Klilis Chacham afilu al Tanai hiba. When a Chacham gives a kas, even if it's conditional, it's going to be chal. It's going to happen. Even if he makes it a condition, I'm cursing this guy on condition, if he doesn't, whatever it is. It happens either way. Minalon me'eli, we learn this out from Eli. Tekal marlei l'shmuel, he said to Shmuel, Ko yasa lecha lekim v'cha yesif im tichacha b'meni davar. He said, he cursed him, you should have, what happened to me should happen to you if you hide from me anything. Even though Shmuel told him, still he told him, I think it was the nevuah, he asked him to tell me a nevuah. Shmuel's children still didn't follow in his ways. He got the curse of Eli. Eli is known, his kids were Chofni and Pinchas, I think, and they didn't follow his derech. So also Shmuel's kids, he was cursed, so his kids also got this curse.
Okay.
So I just want to say, since we're talking about stories about curses, so I showed you this. I'll try and upload a picture of this, the magic bowl. This is the story happened in my family with my dad many years ago, many decades ago. So my dad was in business with some guy. He was working for a very wealthy man. I'm talking about like 40 years ago, maybe a billionaire, I don't know, multi-millionaire. He was working for him. He was trying to start a new business with him. And this guy decided he's not going to do business with him anymore. And he's just going to sue him. So he took my dad to court, massive court case. My dad didn't have money even to pay for, this guy took the top lawyers and the top, massive court case, suing him. Which could completely destroy him. Just a really nasty guy. He definitely didn't need the money and he had no case. But either way, just to go to court can cost you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. It could take years, right? These things take years. The day of the court case, my great uncle's business partner from Antwerp asked my dad to go to auction, Sotheby's, the auction house in England. He asked him to go to Sotheby's and buy this bowl. It's a 2,000-year-old bowl with writing in it. I'll upload the picture, you'll see. It's supposed to be, this is how it was being sold. There was a bowl from the Kohen Gadol with a curse from the Kohen Gadol. That's the story. My dad's like, listen, I've got this big court case in the afternoon. I can't go. He said, look, the auction is at 9 a.m. Go to Sotheby's. I don't trust anyone else. I really want this bowl. So the story is that my dad said, okay, what could he do? It's his father-in-law's
brother,
his business partner. Okay, so he's going to go. No one else can go. He can go. He drives to town. He's stuck in traffic. He walks into Sotheby's. Literally, they're in the middle of auctioning this bowl. They're like, it's item 100. He said, going once, going twice. Mr. Kornbluth, my dad, puts up his hand. He buys it, whatever it was, $1,000. Sold. He gets the bowl, goes home. Calls up Mr. Kaufman in Belgium. I got the bowl. And he says, you didn't hear? No, I don't have a mobile phone. This is 1985. I don't know what. He said, the guy taking you to court dropped dead. Happened the minute he bought this bowl. The guy taking him to court dropped dead. That's the story. Crazy story. A young man. He wasn't like some alter guy. Man, in his 50s. It turns out they made the cheshbon the minute he bought the bowl.
the curse.
He just dropped dead. Yeah, because of the kind. I've been instructed to inform people that the bowl is now in my brother's possession. He asked Mr. Kaufman for the bowl. He got the bowl.
Be careful with him, man.
He got the bowl. Anyway, that's the story. Says the gemorah. My brother David, not Benji. You don't have to worry. You're good. Says the gemorah. Amar of Yehuda. It's on the page. Amar of Yehuda. Amar Rav. Nidra al Tanai. Someone makes a nidui on condition. What's a nidui? A nidui is like a cherem that you're not allowed to be part of the kal, the tzibur, right? So someone does a nidui al Tanai. Tzar hafara. You need to do hafara. How do you know that? And actually, the Rabbeinu Hanan says, Nidra al Tanai Ma'atzmai. Take a look at Rabbeinu Hanan now, because what's the Nidra Klala? He says, the Chiddush here says Rabbeinu Hanan is talking about even if someone's manada himself. That's how Rabbeinu Hanan understands the gemorah. So, but the gemorah says, how do you know you need a hapara? Mihuda? We learn this out from Yehuda. The Chsev, Im leia v'yesiv elecha v'chatas lecha kol hayom. That's just the pasuk. Yehuda told Yaakov that if I don't bring back Binyamin to you, v'chatas lecha kol hayom means he's going to be a nidui. Olam haza, olam haba, nidui, cherem. He's excommunicated. Now, even though it was a Tanai and he brought Binyamin back to Yaakov, but still, we're going to see he was in nidui. It's like this, the Mefarshim explains, he says, what's a double lotion? He should live and not die. But of course, if you live, you're not dead, right? And then it says, V'zois Yehuda. And this is in the, the V'zois Bracha, the end of the Chumash, the Brachas, and the Mefarshim explain, the Kasha is, why does it go straight from, Ruvain, who's the firstborn, then it jumps to Yehuda. What about Levi? Why is Levi? Okay, Shimon you don't want to put in there because Shimon was whatever, but he killed Shem. But why didn't you put in Levi? What happened to Levi?
Levi has its own...
Or whatever, that's the kasha. Why is Levi not there, right? Maybe that's the kasha, but the Gemara doesn't go into the drasha. Then it says, the 40 years that they were in the Midbar, right, they went around the Midbar for 40 years, until they came into Exile. The bones of Yehuda were rolling around, I guess. I'm not sure what this means exactly. They were rolling around in the Aron. Then what happened? Moshe Rabbeinu came and he was mevakesh rachamim on Yehuda. So, what did Moshe say? Who was Gairem to Yehuda that he should be Maida? Migam Reuven Sheyada Yehuda. Right, so the famous story that Reuven was Bilbul Yitzue Aviv, whatever that means. So why was Reuven Maida? Because he saw Yehuda being Maida. The story with Tamar. Yehuda said, yeah, it's not going many, you're right. So therefore, Reuven was Maida. So that was Reuven's chus. So that was Yehuda's chus. The fact that Reuven was Maida because of Yehuda. And Taisus actually says that's when, take a look at the second Taisus, Migam Yehuda Shemaida, Taisus says, Yesh lanu smach min amikra. It says, Yehuda ata yeducha achecha. Your brother's a maida to you. So the Pashup Shai is, I guess, it means yeducha achecha, that he's the king, right? But Taisus says, it's smach, that means that you created your brothers, you made your brothers be maida. So that's why Reuven was, that's why Yehuda was maida. Sorry, that's why Reuven was maida, because he saw Yehuda being maida. The question is, what they ask is, why was Reuven maida? What's the Indian to be maida? It says, Ashe nusui chata kisei pash. If someone does an avera, don't go around saying he did an avera. You shouldn't tell people. Why is he busy going telling people? With Yehuda, he was maida because they were about to kill Tamar, right? They're going to burn her for adultery, whatever it is. That's why he was maida. He saved the life. But why was Reuven maida? So Reuven did something with the mitzvah of Bila, right? He was Bilbul Yitzui mitzvah, right? Whether it's a machlekes what he did there, he just moved the beds around, or there was a ma'isa there. So, but why was he maida? If Pshat he did something wrong, if he did the B'dolach Avera, why are you being maida? You're supposed to hide your sins. The Rambam says, B'dolach Avera, you should tell people you did a chait. But no, not. So the Mepharshim explained, the Pnei Yeshua says that because here the mother Bila, she wasn't married to Yaakov, she was a Pelegesh. There was no Kiddushin, there was no Ksuva, therefore there's no Benon al-Malkum here. The only problem was it's like a Zilzal in his father, it's a Benon al-Chavera problem. Benon al-Chavera you're supposed to say. You're supposed to tell people you did a Benon al-Chavera problem, Avera. And it sounds like it's such a schus that Reuven was maida. That's why Yehuda was saved, because he was Gairem. When he saw Yehuda was maida, he said, okay, when he saw that it's socially acceptable to be maida to Averas, he said, oh, he's also being maida. So then the Chumash says, Yehuda Shom Hashem Kol Yehuda. So when Moshe said, so his bones went to the regular place instead of being rolling around. But still, he wasn't allowed in Shemayim into the base of Medrash in Shemayim. The pasuk says. So Moshe said, he's allowed to go into Amai, his people. So he was allowed into the Mesivta Rakia. So he didn't know how to ask and answer kashas. He sat on the shir like it's a daf yomi. He didn't know what was going on, right? Benji liked that one. So he didn't know how to have a shakli Torah like the Chomim. He was just sitting there like an ebuch. So Moshe said, Yodav Ravlai. And first was saying, Yodav is Yodav from Melchama. Melchamta shel Torah. Yodav Ravlai. So he was able to learn Torah. He didn't know how to, he still didn't know how to answer good kasha. So it says, Ve'ezim mitzarav. So Moshe gave him a bracha, Ve'ezim mitzarav, and Moshe took Yehuda into Gan Eden. He was able to, he took away this chayrim that he had, this Nidra he put on himself, so he was able to answer all the kashas. Says the gemorah, Ibailu. Mises kulen nuchayze, oidil mises echomem. When does the ritzah come home? Only if one of these three kahanim dies, or if all three die? Toshma. It says, Nigba dinai beloy kohen gadol. If there's a psak, right, without a kohen gadol. So what happens? He never leaves the Ir Miklat. He's stuck there forever. If when based in Paskin there was no kohen gadol, he's stuck there forever. So v'im Isa, and if it's true that any one of them can die, it's good enough. So there was like three kahanim dalim, Mechama, Shemen Meshuach, Shmeina Begadim, the Machlif. So fine, you haven't got one of them, but there wasn't three of them. So one of them's not there. When the other one dies, you should go free. So gemorah answers B'deleka. It's talking about a case where there's only one kohen. You don't have three kohen. There's only one kohen, and he died before the psak din. So now he's stuck in the Ir Miklat at Seif Yomov till he dies. Says the Mishnah. So Mishnigma Dinai, Meis Kohen Gadol, what happens? Before basing Paskin, this guy's got a galus, the Kohen Gadol dies. What's the din? Harizeh in the Gaila? He's not
after, not before.
After what? Before the Psak din, Mishnigma Dinai, Meis Kohen Gadol, and a Gaila.
After the Nigmar din, after the
Mishnah Nigma he doesn't have to go to Galus, right? But before the Nigma din, Meiskan Gadol, then they get someone else in this place. And then afterwards, Nigma dinoi, he has a psak din. Then he then he goes back after the second Kohen Gadol dies. So as long as there's a Kohen Gadol there for the psak din, when that Kohen Gadol dies, he's going to go free. Now, Nigma din beloy Kohen Gadol, if there's a psak din without a Kohen Gadol, or v'hoyre Kohen Gadol, someone who kills a Kohen Gadol, v'choy Gadol shaharag, or if the Kohen Gadol himself kills, he'll never go free. I mean, it's a kasha. What we said in the gemorah yesterday. Why is it that the guy goes free when the Kohen Gadol dies? Because he should have davened, right? So, what happens if the Kohen Gadol kills, or someone kills the Kohen Gadol? Why should he never go free? There's another Kohen Gadol there now. Why shouldn't he go free when the new Kohen Gadol dies? Or if they put someone else there in place, or you have three Kohanim Gedolim? First of all, someone want to bring a raya from here. The Gemara says, why doesn't Gemara prove from here that?
1 second. This Ir Miklat is also a punishment. It's not just to protect him from the Gal Adam.
It's a kapara. Yeah. It's mechaper l'chayra, and it's protecting from the Gal Adam.
What if the Gal Adam dies?
He still needs a kapara. He still stays there forever until the Kohen Gadol dies. It's a kapara.
And if someone kills the Kohen Gadol, then he stays there forever.
If someone kills the Kohen Gadol? If someone kills the Kohen Gadol, the Kohen Gadol if someone kills the Kohen Gadol, he's dead. He doesn't go to Ir Miklat. But if I guess that's what, V'hoy Kohen Gadol, if someone kills accidentally a Kohen Gadol,
No.
he goes to Ir Miklat forever.
Oh, I see.
And if the Kohen Gadol kills someone else, he goes to Ir Miklat forever. So before I should say, it's because it's such a chomer dikachet to kill the Kohen Gadol, he's got to stay there forever. It's not mechaper. For the new Kohen Gadol. So in other words, Kohen Gadol kills someone, goes to Ir Miklat. Now there's a new Kohen Gadol. That guy dies.
Could be that when he killed him, so another Kohen Gadol came in his place, and that guy wanted to be the Kohen Gadol. See, for sure didn't daven.
For the first Kohen Gadol.
Kevin on to kill the previous Kohen
Interesting.
Gadol.
I wanted to say something different. I thought that the reason is maybe because the whole reason why the Kohen Gadol is responsible here is because he didn't daven for the guy, right? He's the Kohen Gadol. He for sure daven for himself. No?
So what are you saying?
The guy, that's why.
Oh.
That's why he's in a gaila. Like he's. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a good kasha. So says the gemorah. It says the Mishnah. Ve'eni yetzer, this guy, whoever's in the mikla, any yetzer loyle edus mitzvah, ve'loyle edus moment. He can't go to testify for a mitzvah, not testify for money. Ve'loyle edus nefashes. Even pikoch edus nefashes, he's not allowed to go. Ve'afilu Yisrael tzrichim lo. Even if Am Yisrael needs him. Ve'afilu Yisrael tzov Yisrael chayev ben tzruya. Even the general of the army, like Yoav ben Tzruya, ein yetz misham lo'elam. He can never leave the mikla. Shenema Asher.
Talking about the Kohen Gadol?
No,
Or talking about
anyone who goes to
important
Miklat,
person.
anyone who goes
Okay.
to Miklat, he's never allowed to leave, not for any mitzvah, not for any chiyuv, for nothing. Asher nos shama. It says in the pasuk, Asher nos shama, shamtei dirasai, that's where he lives. Shamtei misasai, that's where he's going to die. Shamtei kfurasai, that's where he's buried.
Except if the Kohen Gadol has.
Exactly. So says the Mishnah, Kishem she'ir koiletes, kach tchum koilet. Another thing. Just like the city itself is koilet, this guy that shouldn't be killed, similarly, the tchum, the 2,000 amas around the city, protects him. Retzeach sheyotza chutz l'tchum, this accidental murderer, he left the tchum, v'motza galadam, the galadam finds him. So what's the din? This guy leaves the tchum. What's the din now? Can he be killed? Rabbi Yosef Glili, mitzvah biad galadam. It's crazy, it's a massive chiddush, you know that, you think this? Rabbi Yosef Glili says it's a mitzvah to kill him. The galadam is mitzvah. This is vengeance, it's not just like you're allowed to take vengeance, says Rabbi Yosef Glili, it's a mitzvah to kill him. Right? V'shus biad kol adam. Everyone else is allowed to kill him. It's not a mitzvah. No one else is mitzvah to kill him. They're allowed to kill him. Rabbi Kiva Ayman is Rabbi Paskin. V'shus biad kol adam. The kol adam is allowed to kill him. V'chol adam chayav in alav misa. Everyone else kills in a chayav misa. So Rabbi Kiva says that the kol adam is allowed to kill him. It's not mitzvah to kill him. He's allowed to. But everyone else is chol adam chayav in alav. Everyone else is chayav. Now you see this little aleph here, there's a gears of the graph.
Why is that a chiddush?
Or basically says it's a mitzvah for everyone else to kill him, and for the guy that was a mitzvah, and for everyone else it's a rishus, they're allowed to kill him. He says no, they're not allowed to kill him, they're just not killed. Everyone else is chayv misa if they kill him.
Right.
Machlekes says if anyone else kills this guy, they chayv misa or not. Now it's very interesting because the Gra brings a different gears here, which is a gears of Moshe Shainim, and they say v'chol adam ein chayav in alav. They stick in the word ein. So Lefi Rabbi Kiva, if anyone else kills him, they're not chayv misa. He's a dead man. It's like you kill a treifa. The guy Adam could kill this guy, right? So if anyone else kills him, ein chayav in alav. They're not chayv misa. But then you're going to ask the question, now, if that's the case, so what's the difference between the guy Adam and anyone else? So you read it like this, read the last line of the Mishnah. Rishus kol adam, rishus biad gal adam, v'chol adam ein chayav in alav. So neither of them have a mitzvah, neither of them chayav misa. So that's the same thing. Just say, anyone who kills him, mutter. You know? What's the difference?
Well, what's happening with his status really? Why suddenly, when he leaves the year,
He's no longer protected. Anyone can kill him. He's not protected anymore.
Yeah, but before that, we even were sending like Talmudei Chachomim.
On the way to the city, we're trying to
the
protect
city.
him. Once he leaves, he says, "I'm done with this. I can't deal with these kahanim. I can't deal without my whatever it is. I have to go to Machane Yehuda and go do shopping there. That's it. You want to go? That's it. His life is hefka.
Okay.
So,
Levim.
huh?
Levim.
Levim, yeah. Levim. Who lived there? Levim. Yeah. They were everyone. There was Khan Levi Manisrael in that. So what you have to say here in the Gra is that Rishus Biad Goel Adam, the Goel Adam is allowed to kill him. V'chol Adam ein chayavin alav. It means that they're not chayv misa. They're not allowed to kill him. They're just not chayv misa. So you ask, Lefi Rabbi Kiva, is anyone else allowed to kill him? No, they're not allowed to kill him. Rakma, they're not chayv misa for it. Says the Gemara, my timer. Amabaye kal v'chaymer. Why is it if the Kohen Gadol dies, he isn't Gaila? Right? That's the kasha. My timer, Amabaye kal v'chaymer. Umami shegala kvar. Someone who is already Gaila, yotza, he goes out. So someone goes to Imiklat, Kohen Gadol dies, he's home, he goes home. Misha loy Gala, someone that wasn't even Gaila yet, Ein Nishalay Yigla, Kal v'chaymer, Ein Adim, he's a Kal v'chaymer, for sure he doesn't have to go to Galos. The Gemara asks, V'dil Mahai the Gala, the guy that went to Galos, he had a kapara. Galos is a kapara, right? He went to Galos, he had a kapara, so that's why he can go home, that's why he goes home. Hai the loy Gala loy. The guy that didn't go to Galos, no. So the Gemara asks, Midi Galos come mechapara, Misas kahane with the mechapara. What's mechaper this guy? Is it the Galos or is it the Misas Kohen Gadol?
Yeah, we said Mrs.
So it's the Misas Kohen Gadol.
Exactly.
So therefore, the Kal v'chaymer is a good Kal v'chaymer. If you didn't even go there yet, Kal v'chaymer, that you don't have to go.
Exactly.
I mean, the kasha is though, what the Rishonim ask, it looks like the kasha is that, I don't understand, maybe you need the kapara of the Galos and the Kohen Gadol. The Galos does a kapara, and the Kohen Gadol does a kapara. You need both. What's a Kal v'chaymer? Maybe the Kohen Gadol only is mechaper you if the guy who had a shtickle kapara from the Galos. Take a look at places, the first wide line in places. Place says Pirush. In the middle of the first wide line, Pirush. Miftra megalos shari afilu loy gal ele yoyim echad v'meis Kohen Gadol v'chayzer. Right? Even if he went to Galos for 3 seconds, he went there, bought a can of Coke, Kohen Gadol dies, he goes out. So what type of kapara is that? It must be that the Galos, the Mikla didn't do anything. He was there for 3 seconds. That's a kapara. If the Kohen Gadol doesn't die, he can be there for 25 years. It doesn't do kapara. So Taish says, you see from here that the Mikla itself has nothing to do with it. The fact that one guy could be in the Mikla for 3 seconds, one guy could be there for 50 years, the Mikla is not what's mechaper. It's a Mrs. Kohen Gadol. That's what's mechaper. Says the gemorah. Let's continue. Imat shloi nigma dinoi. The Gemara asks anonymously. Amar of Canada, Makrav, Yoshev ba admais Kohen Gadol, asher mashachos b'shem HaKodesh, and that's the pasuk. V'chihu moishchai. Ela zeh shenimshach miyobav. It means Rashi says nimshach miyobav that he was when Mishnah says roitzeach. The Kohen Gadol is talking about a guy who became a Kohen Gadol after he killed. So if someone becomes a Kohen Gadol after a guy was anointed Kohen Gadol after this guy killed someone, so he still goes free when he dies. The Gemara asks, what should this poor Kohen Gadol have done? Why is this Kohen's misa mechaper for that guy? Because he could have davened that he shouldn't have killed someone. He wasn't a Kohen Gadol when he killed. He became a Kohen Gadol after he killed. So the Gemara, this Kohen Gadol should daven that he will go home free. He shouldn't have to go to Galos. And it's a particular pella, because first of all, it's a kapara. And we just saw the Galos is not a kapara, his misa is a kapara. So Galos doesn't really help him, we've established. The misa is what's mechaper him, right? But what should he daven? That there should be ikwa din, that the din should be wrong? He's chayv Galos. What's he supposed to daven? So the Farshim explained that he should daven that everyone should say he's chayv Galos. And that way he won't be chayv Galos. Just like everyone says he's chayv Misa, all the others say he's chayv Misa, they don't kill him. He should pass him. Everyone should say he's chayv Misa. Everyone should say he's chayv Galos, and he won't go to Galos. Shtikal chedesh. Amar Abaye. Naktina nikba dinu ameis malichin asas ma'itzav l'sham. If there's a psak din, and then he dies, what happens? They take his bones to the Ir Miklat, right? So this guy, he killed someone b'shegeg, then they paskin he's guilty. What's it then? They take his bones to Ir Miklat. Dechsiv loshav l'sheves ba'aretz ad moisa kain ve'ezu yeshivs ba'aretz have'ay mezu kvura. You got to bury him there. He has to be buried there for tikkun. Tana meis kodesh meis kohen gadol. Let's say he's in the Ir Miklat and he dies. They bury him, and then the kohen gadol dies. So the Gemara says, "Malichin as meisav al kiver avos." So they take his bones out of the Ir Miklat, and they take it. They bury him with his avosav, with his father. The chesiv yoshev etzech eretz chazosai. So, ezi yeshiva shehi be'eretz chazosai harei b'zeh kvura. You see from here, very interesting. The Kudah, the Mepharshim say, this guy's dead. He's in the Ir Miklat. He's dead and buried for 10 years. Now the kohen gadol dies. Now the kohen gadol is mechaper on him in Shemaim. You see that someone in the Neshama can have a kapara even way after he's dead. Therefore, it's a mitzvah to say tehillim for a person, to say lilui nishmosei people, because you see Mefurish gemorah. He's dead. Mefurish pasuk. He's dead and buried. Kohen gadol dies. Take out the bones. He doesn't have to be in the Ir Miklat anymore. Take him to Kivrei Avaisov. Nigma dinoi. V'nasa kohen ben gusha ben cholutza. What happens? There's a psak din, and then the kohen gadol becomes a ben gusha ben cholutza. So pligi bar Rabbi Ami Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha Chadam Meisakuna v'Chadam Batlakuna. What happens over here? Is the kuna dead or is it bottle? So again, what's it in? There's a Gmad din, and then we find out the kohen was apostle. We've got to switch him out. So is that like he's killed? Is that like the kohen gadol is dead? He's out? No. Or is that like so it's machlekes. Is it mesakuna or botlakuna? Is that like he died? Or is that like it's bottle and you start from scratch? So lema plukta the Rebbe Lezer Rabbi Yeshua come ifligidisnan. This is totally a different machlekes. He's sitting and he's being makriv korbanos on the mizbeach. And then they come to him and tell him, Kayan, you're being makriv korbanos. You're ben gusha ben chalutza. You're apostle. All the korbanos till now, apostle. Everything's done. Everyone has to bring the korbanos again. It's like the butcher from Muncie. Everything's treif. Rabbi Yeshua machshir. He says, you know what? It's good. All the korbanos were good. As long as he thought b'shas hakrov it was good, it's good. So therefore, also here also, if this kohen, they thought he was a good kohen, so it's not like it's possible. So mandam ameisik Rabbi Yeshua, mandam abatla karebi Eliezer, and therefore he'll go out like it's like as if he died. Okay, have a wonderful day.
Oh yeah, wow, no, finished the